Hey, hey. Well, it's a heads up for everybody. The current regime that is occupying the White House at this point are removing items from the African American Museum. Now, the African American Museum is under the umbrella of the Smithsonian Museum, the world renowned museum of history. And they are able to have things removed because the African American Museum is relies partially, probably majority of the funding is federally funded, and so they can do so. And when they take exhibits out, they are saying that the items, the museum itself, is divisive, and it is all based upon a race. Duh, hence the name African American Museum. Okay? And so, because they were doing this, the director resigned, as a lot of other people have resigned. They did the same thing with the military website. They they did remove, but had to put it back, the Tuskegee Airmen from the military website and other minorities, including the Hopi coders who helped, along with the Tuskegee Airmen, win World War II. The military website, they removed Jackie Robinson, who not only served in the military, but was a UCLA scholar and graduate, and who later broke the color barrier in baseball. And then they removed the Harriet Tubman exhibit, a brave, courageous woman who um, received a posthumous Congressional Gold Medal, who conducted the Underground Railroad. And contrary to the belief of some who know nothing about it, um, it's not a real railroad. It was called that because of the various stops along the way. And it was called um, the Underground Railroad. Some of the stops were homes of free black people and white abolitionists. And an abolitionist was a person who was working to abolish slavery in the United States of America. And Harriet Tubman, led numerous slaves to freedom. Now, why was she taken out of the museum? Because, like all of the others above, referenced above, she represented greatness, bravery, and resistance to the status quo, which at the time was slavery. But they're leaving the entertainment exhibits. Now, just because a movie was made about Harriet Tubman does not make her fictional. Wyatt Earp was real too. They made a movie about him. They make movies about real people. And anyone who says or asserts that she is fictional is doing just what those who are removing the exhibits want them to do: discredit great historical black figures, black people. And that is the slave and sheep mentality. H. Rap Brown, I was at a rally of his in the 1960s. And he said, don't let them numb your mind. Because if you do that, then you'll go along with whatever is said and say, yeah, this is it. This is the reality of it. And essentially, when you go along with something, it's that, again, that slave and sheep mentality. And it's like, well, Master said, Master saying, Master doing this because this, that, and the other. And if Master did it, it must be something to it because Master said. Excuse me? Fast forward. Master saying this right now. Same mentality. And that's something that we need to strive to work to eradicate within our people. And those who don't want to change, well, okay. You can't make someone, all you can do is put the knowledge out there. But even Candace Owens has had a change of heart. How about that? Hmm. But anyway, in the 1950s, when I was a child, all I knew about myself as a black child was Booker T. Washington, George Washington Carver, and slavery. Slavery. That's it, that's all. That's the only history I knew about my people. Black television cartoon characters were just dressed in jungle attire, or there was Tarzan, a white man in the middle of the jungle of Africa, to whom the black people were subservient. So, fast forward to the 1960s, as we begin to unearth our history, we marched and we fought to have our history included and taught in the schools, and we won. Fast forward to 2025, and they are now trying to bury our history. So, uh, the director of the museum resigned. But we can't just sit back and say, hey, when someone says something, ignore it. When we hear something, we have to say something. When we hear people degrading our heroes and heroines, we need to say something. That's our history. And our history is just not limited to the United States of America. It goes back to ancient Egypt, ancient Africa. Bill Scott Heron once uh, said in one of his albums, uh, the way things are subtly done. And he said, they have moved Egypt to the Middle East. Egypt is in Africa, and so is Libya. But there are a lot of people who don't know that. Some people even think Africa is a country, it's a continent filled with numerous countries. And the history is very rich. And so we don't know things because the information is not readily available to us, or we weren't taught in the schools. And so what are they doing in Florida? Taking the information out of the textbooks, removing slavery out of the textbooks. It didn't happen. Yeah, it happened. It was wrong, and it happened. And not everybody was okay with it, but it still happened. And so a lot of people don't know the history of Black people, worldwide especially, but even more so here in this country, in the United States. We don't know the entirety of our history. But when people uh, try to make light of the inventions and the contributions of Black people, you put something up about a Black person created or invented this. All right. Oh, so the Blacks invented everything, huh? No, we didn't invent everything, but we We did a lot. We contributed a lot. And the next time someone tries to play us down as to what we've contributed, say, okay, fine. Well, if we didn't contribute anything, you just drive down the street, don't pay any attention to the traffic lights. You know why? Because a black man invented the traffic light and patented it. But I didn't grow up knowing that, and a lot of other people didn't, and it's not in the books. All those contributions. So, yes, we have contributed quite a bit. A lot of people don't know that black people ruled Europe. Spain and Portugal was ruled by the Moors. Moors means black. And they ruled Europe for several hundred years and taught them math. The numbers we use are African numbers, not Roman numerals, but African. So a lot of people it disturbs them, some people, even black people, when there's information that they were not aware of. And if you try to contradict them, oh boy, what do they revert to? Cursing. No intelligent debate, no intelligent research, no data, just calling you a bunch of names, you know, being derogatory. And that's something that I hope at some point in time will be eliminated in all circles, not just here on YouTube, but in all circles. So people have said that perhaps we should donate to the museum. And if you have a mind to do that, I will put the link in the description and you can go to their site and go to where it says donate. Do not donate to any group outside of the museum, okay? Because there's a lot of scamming going on. And I don't want anyone to get caught up in that in association with this. But if you have a mind to contribute $1 even to them, go to their website, do it officially through there. We don't need a separate group of people collecting money because we don't know who they are and we don't know if that money will even get there. So this way you're assured as to where your money is going. And lastly, also I'm putting a link in the description. Um, a man who, and he's a pastor, who has provided insight based upon um, really intricate research as to who is actually pulling the strings of the current regime that's occupying the White House at this point in time. And hopefully, it will give you some insight and you'll have an aha moment and you'll understand exactly what's going on. And you need to be prepared for that as well. But um, the insight is what's important. So please, whatever you can do or say, don't let them hide our heroes and act like they're not heroes and heroines. There were some strong black women back in the day, and I mean way back before my grandmother, during slavery, before slavery, after slavery, and strong black men as well. And I hope that someone will gain some insight from this and that some people will understand what's going on and how to view it and say, okay, I see you. You got to shout it from the rooftops. All you have to do is sit back and say, I see you. But you can't erase our history. And you definitely cannot malign and degrade our historical people, because that goes on. One day they'll say Martin Luther King didn't exist, right? Hmm. Okay, everyone, you have a great rest of your evening, day, whenever you hear this. And listen, try as best you can to stay in the moment, find a reason to be grateful for what you have, find something that makes you laugh, and try to enjoy life each and every day. Have a good one. Bye bye.